Okay, so when we left off with this thing, it was filthy dirty, and the motherboard that was in it was determined to be bad, in addition to the power supply. So I went in and cleaned up the case. It's certainly not perfect, but at least it doesn't look like somebody took a dump and then wiped their butt with this. Actually, I think it looks really good, considering the condition that it was in before. But, gone ahead and installed some peripherals. See, I've replaced the power supply. It's just a standard power supply. It's a Delta of some kind. I don't remember exactly what the specs on it are, and I have to mount it upside down, so the sticker is on the other side, where I can't see it, unless it happens to be open on the side of the case. Which, of course, it's not, so I guess we won't be seeing that. But it's a Delta power supply that I hope works, because it wasn't easy to get in there. I've also gone ahead and installed an optical drive and a hard drive. It's an 80 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive and just some random DVD burner. Both of them are SATA. I've decided that, well, for one, there's no IDE connections on this motherboard, this power supply, which I didn't even notice until now. But for two, I want to cut down on the number of ribbon cables on this machine. And my plan for this is, if you remember my Pentium D rig that I had got brand new, I think it was 2005 or early 2006. I do remember that it was the first system I ever ran Vista on, and I got it because it said that it was Vista ready, and I wanted to try out Windows Vista when Windows Vista came out. But that was the Pentium D with the Asus P5P EVM motherboard. That was the Intel CTO option. The AMD CTO option would have been an M2N PV-VM with an AM2 CPU of some kind. There were a couple of different options. I don't remember exactly which one was the one that I was originally going to spec, because I was originally going to spec an AMD machine. But the thing that really killed it for me with the AMD is the fact that it had an NVIDIA chipset, the Enforce 430, I believe. And, you know, back then I didn't have broadband internet access. I mean, there was broadband in the house. I didn't have it access for myself. I had still using dial-up. So I tried to limit the amount of looking up I did, but I still, you know, I did a little bit of research before picking a machine, and all I saw were complaints about how bad the Enforce chipset was. And, you know, I had a little bit of experience working with computers, and whenever I'd get a machine with an NVIDIA Enforce chipset in it, it was always strangely poorly behaved. And so that really kind of killed the whole AMD thing for me. I don't have an M2N PV-VM. I wouldn't buy one, personally, but I do have the next best thing sitting right here. This is actually an M2N BP VM Corporate Stable Model, or CSM. And the difference is that this is the business machine. Exactly what differences it has, I don't remember off the top of my head. But it is the same Enforce 430 chipset. It's still DDR2 memory, and it's still socket AM2. And this particular machine has got an Athlon 64X2 5000 Plus on it, which I think is the second best Athlon 64 I've got in my possession. The best one is the 6000 Plus that I've actually got in one of my firewalls right now. I don't have an I/O plate, which is kind of unfortunate, but oh well, I think it'll be fine. I was tempted to add a sound card. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about that. But the other thing is that this has got PCI Express, which is good, so I can use a PCI Express video card, and I've tried to keep things, you know, reasonably period correct. So I've got this is a 7600 GT with a gigantic cooler on it. I don't know when exactly this model came out, but the 7600 GT was released in March of 2006, so I think that'll be pretty good. The hard drive comes from 2005, I think, maybe early 2006. The optical drive is from 2007, but optical drives are optical drives, really, frankly. And I do believe that pretty much all of the CTO options for the AMD back in the day were SATA based, with the exception of the Sempron systems and the lower end ones, which I would never have gone for anyway, because I wanted something that wasn't top of the line, but you know, it was pretty reasonable. I did go ahead and install a case fan as well, and I am now going to go ahead and install the motherboard. The other thing I had to do is I had to deal with the front panel connections. I hope I've got them correct. I think I do. But it came with one of these single-piece little things, and of course those are useless. It's not too hard to change it yourself, as long as you've got the parts in order to do it, and I've got plenty of those. Well, I'm starting to run out, I think. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Let's get this board installed. Okay, the board is now installed. Now comes the fun part, hooking up all the connectors. And I just found out the front panel USB is very highly proprietary. So that's not going to hook into the new machine. So I guess there won't be any front panel USB. Well, there it is. Everything is hooked up, hopefully correctly. I imagine probably not, but, well, I'll go ahead and give it a power-up test to see if it works. Oh, doesn't it have a good battery on it? I don't know if that's a good battery or not. Should have checked that before doing anything else, but oh well. This big, massive heatsink tilts out of the way, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Okay, are you ready to watch this thing blow up in flames? Not quite. I do need to plug in the video. So, plug in. And it is lifeless. Why is it lifeless? Do I have a green light? I have a green light. Do I have a green light on the board? I have a green light on the board. Oh, what a mess. Take two. That's a little better. Still have no video, but it is a little better at least. Now this could be a sign. It's not seeing the video card right now. So you can see we got 2 gigs of memory, plus 32 megs of shared memory. So you must check some error, so I'm going to have to... I wonder if this battery is any good. This is the one that came out of the other machine. I'll have to check it. But, we'll go into setup, and I guess configure it, because it's not configured now. And replace that battery. Hopefully replace that battery. And then see if I can get the video card to work. Well, I've decided to go without the video card for now. I can't seem to get it to accept that. I'm going to see what Windows Vista happens to do with the onboard video, because the onboard video is more powerful than whatever the P5P EVM has. Check this out. I was looking at the hardware monitor, and that's quite the fan speed. I don't think that's exactly possible. In fact, that looks fairly preposterous. But, I mean, it works, I guess. That fan is not PWM control, so... But still, I'm not sure why it'd be reading that fast. Oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and install Vista. Try and install Vista. Guess we can find out if this optical drive actually works. I'm not sure why the boot splash looks like garbage. But, it does. Root to the CD. And yes, I'm installing Vista. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen this. Actually, it probably hasn't been that long at all, but there aren't very many computers I ever really installed Windows Vista on. Ooh, product key. Alright, here we go. Installing Windows Vista. I think it'll be just fine with the onboard video. Let's see if the hard drive LED works. Oh, I'm a dork. Once again. Sounds like a thunderstorm going on out there. Huh, we're not supposed to be getting thunderstorms today, but anyway. I had it hooked up backwards. The hard drive LED. And not just that, I think it was on the wrong 2 pins anyway. So, oh well. It's hooked up right now. You can see the optical drive LED. I'm trying to get a mosquito out of here. Yeah, look at that. Looks like a thunderstorm is actually rolling in. Probably going to the north, but it's kind of a little chilly for that, but well, there you go. Okay, I missed the first reboot. It's because, like I said, I wasn't really anticipating a thunderstorm today, but there you go. Anyway. It's actually pretty funny. Preparing to start for the first time. I'm not so sure that everything is peachy creamy. It's not running at the right resolution, I could tell you that, but I think we gotta wait until it begins to install drivers before the correct resolution is selected. It doesn't look too bad, really. I think it's running with the aero glass turned on. Which is kind of what I want, because the P5P EVM, that system, I had to go install a an outboard video card in order to get the aero glass to work, because the onboard, I think it's got like, is it 865 or 965? I think it's 865. The 865 video is not good enough to be able to do the aero glass. You know, I think it's WDDM compatible, but it doesn't really matter. It didn't do aero, so, well, that's creative. Well, it's not totally broken, I guess. So, things are looking ahead, hopefully. I think things are getting a little real out here. I missed it, but, nice giant flash. Let's see, might be able to see it better from out here, because I think it's all over there now. That was awesome. Wonder if it'll do it again. The wind is really picking up. Man, did I ever pick one hell of a time to start setting up this computer. Ooh, that was nice. I don't know if the camera actually got it, but cool. Alright, back to Vista. Arguably a thunderstorm is cooler than Vista, but I've started on this. You know, I'm kind of not going to go completely off the deep end as far as everything goes. It's not 418. It's 318. So, I guess the old DST rules. This thing's going off of the old rules. So, now it's got to check the performance. This is the part that always takes the longest for whatever reason. It makes the computer squeal. Or sing, depending upon how you look at it, I guess. Alright. There we go. 1.75 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 3.0. I guess it's not that bad, really. It's actually a pretty decent score for a machine like this. I'm gonna have to activate, of course. I'll do that after I get it inside, because I don't really have any way to do anything else. How many drivers does it need? Does it need any drivers? Well, a couple of drivers. Of course, the Enforce networking. 6150 LE. Although I think the business machine actually has the Quadro in VS210. I don't remember which silicon that is, if that's G84, G86, or if it's something else. I'll have to go look that up. But everything else is pretty standard. There's nothing really out of the ordinary on this. Everyone will download the drivers and figure out where we go from there. There's the rain. Told myself I'd probably get stuck out here. Guess that's not too far off. Oh, and yes, there will be some video dedicated on the storm. It's really starting to pick up. Nice. It's really nice. This is supposed to be a computer video. Kind of turned into not. Got real dark real fast. No sooner than it starts, it ends. One problem that I realized is a problem, I hope that that stuff over there doesn't mind getting a little bit wet. Wish I'd remembered it was there. I would have brought it in here. Dang it. Oh well, whatever. Is it safe to go inside yet? Because I need to get a slot blank for that and the drivers. Probably a few other things as well. Okay, it's now activated. And I did that over the phone system, because obviously there's no way I can get internet out here through Ethernet. I'm not using wireless, that's not going to work. If the wireless connectivity on the other devices out here is any indication, wireless is not going to work anyway. But irrespective of that, I don't think you can activate Vista over the internet anymore anyway, because the activation servers rely on a specific version of TLS, I believe, is the reason why that these older versions don't support, because I know that Windows 7 will not activate over the internet until you install the update roll-up, so maybe even not now either, but Windows is activated, so I don't have to worry about that. I do, however, need to worry about installation of stuff. I don't know if this is going to work. This is the offline installer for Avast antivirus. It's, I guess, really one of the only ones left that works on Vista. That's free anyway, and I'm not paying for an antivirus. It's dumb. Could just not even install an antivirus. That'd be the other option, but I like having it. But this is the offline installer, and there's only one offline installer for it, and I don't know if it will work for Vista if I need the Vista specific installer. So I guess we'll find out. Well, I guess that answers that question, now doesn't it? Dang it. Oh well, so I guess that'll have to wait for later. I got to install the service packs and an IE9. That's pretty important. You know, the unfortunate thing about this is that it just takes absolutely forever, because I have to install Service Pack 1, and I have to install Service Pack 2. Both of those might take an hour or more, as it says. And then I have to install the rest of it, so I could be at this for 3 hours. You know, it's not like I've got 3 hours, it's already 5:30, so... whatever. There's your machine. All fixed up. And working. Which is good.